Welcome back to Kinlaig on Farming Simulator 25 Highlands Fishing. It's episode 26 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, following on from the last episode, I have just been into our little workshop. We have switched over tyres. We put some narrows on. I was going to go narrow twins because I really do like that look. But I thought, you know what, it's not necessary because I would be tempted to leave them on the whole time. Because I've got a couple of things I need to do. We've been approached by a company which may cause some controversy. Controversy in the town, it doesn't matter what I do, it causes controversy in the comments. But on our field here, we've got weeds. And I'm sure it says, weeds growing, it says hoe. Because the small and mediums are hoeing in its first growth stage. This is first growth stage. So my initial thought was, well, I'll just grab the massey, which I did, hooked up to it. The tank's empty, so I was going to put some herbicide in, some of the concentrate, mix it up, and we'll just spray the whole lot. Why not? But I thought I haven't used a hoe really very much at all. So I put narrows on so we don't damage the crop. We go down, I've leased a hoe, and we'll try it. You know me and weeds, we don't get along. So I tend to go for the nuclear option immediately, straight to herbicide, wallop, and get it done. As far as our field prep goes, our new field that we purchased, that we're going to be putting onions in this episode, because I'm like an onion. I have layers. Anyway, we've limed it, so that's good to go. It was cultivated already. It's been limed, so we're ready to go putting a crop into that. Our soybean fields are both planted. And the good thing about those is, if we go to our nitrogen, whilst those are both, whilst that one and that one are showing as red, and you'd be forgiven for thinking, well, you've got to get some nitrogen on there. But if you look there, it says pH value good, nitrogen perfect, because soybean produces its own nitrogen. So you don't actually have to put anything on the ground. And if you get fertiliser and you go to put it on there with precision farming on, it won't add anything. It won't do anything. So soybeans are a good call because you haven't got to do any nitrogening. Although they do need rolling. So I've been looking around at different rollers because I tend to, again, kind of fall back on the same roller every time. So I thought, let's try and find something different. So I think we've got a Rollmaco one. It's being supplied by JMZ Fabrication Manufacturing. And I think it's a 9.4 metre. I think the one I normally go for is I want to say a 6, 5.8, 6, something like that. We'll have a look while we're down there because it wouldn't hurt to pick it up. I think it might be trailed, so it might be a little bit difficult. But anyway, we'll have a look. I'm just curious to see whether the hoe works. If the hoe doesn't work, we'll fall back on herbicidage. That's absolutely fine. Oh, thank you to the people that commented on my video, the last one, when I said about how slow the tornado, the twister, was going. And you were absolutely right, the people that commented. When we got access to the kind of pre-release version and the whole twisters is going to be a thing, it was all brand new and wow and oh look at this, you know. When we were given access to have a look at it, we had a Giants employee with us when we were allowed to have a play, because there were certain things we weren't allowed to do. Actually, we might be able to do this all at the same time, mightn't we? One on the front, one on the back, potentially. Rollers. Yeah, so we had someone over our shoulder, and they would put us into the different locations on the map that they had pre-set up to show the various different things we were allowed to see, and there was a lot of stuff we weren't allowed to see. So when we made our videos, we could only comment on what we had been shown. We weren't given kind of free reign initially. And when they showed us the twister, they sped up time. It was like times 30 or whatever it was. So it appeared to be moving across really quickly. That's what threw me. I'd completely forgotten all about that. So for the people that messaged, thank you very much. On that little time-lapse clip, I did show it sped up a little bit. But for such a long time, it just sat not doing anything. Anyway, I tend to fall back on this, the Madara, and go for a soil roller. Yeah, 6 metres. It's not too expensive, 9,300, and if you lease it, it's even cheaper, obviously. We've got the invisible roller as part of the Kinsey thing. I haven't really used that, I think, other than when it first came out. But what I found was this, the Rolmako Cambridge. It's a bit more expensive, but it is a bit bigger. You could probably buy 2 of those for the same price those, but then you'd have to have 2 vehicles running them. So I think we'll lease one of these. I'm going to leave it standard. It's... Do I want a trawl? Boxes for stones? Not really. Lighting? Not bothered. We're just leasing it to do some rolling on our 2 soybean fields. So what we'll do is lease that. Oh, look at that. Cheap as chippages to lease. Awesome stuff. So what we'll do, I'll put this on the back to start off with. That way we won't have all the weight on the... To be fair, I know, you know... I don't, because I'll have a rant and then I get clobbered in the comments. All he ever does is moan. No, it's just that... Oh, I don't know. I still can't get my head around the fact it's a game. Just play it. It's a game. Just enjoy it. Yes, I get it. I totally understand. In the real world, a front 3-point link has a certain rating and a certain tonnage. A rear 3-point link has a certain rating and a tonnage. Some vehicles you get a HD version and you get like the, you know, or the whatever. You get heavy lift versions where the rear 3-point link has a higher tonnage rating. So that's why most big machinery is on the back of a vehicle. Putting something big and heavy like this on the front 3-point, not a great idea, and not especially not for long periods. You shouldn't. It's just that's not what it's designed for. I get it. I genuinely do. But I'm just transporting out the hill. If I can do it all in one go, we'd definitely beacons on. I might as well take them both in one go. So what we'll do the weeding first, and if the weeding doesn't work, we'll do the herbiciding first. Then we'll get the rolling done, and then I should have leased the onion planter. So we're going to, and there's not really, I mean, I say there's not really, there's a few different planters out there, I think like the Kinsey as well. There's a few different planters and things out there now, modded ones, that give you the ability to plant onions in addition to, so multi-planters. There's a few modded ones knocking around that you can do onions with, but I thought, again, we'll use the standard, the one that's designed for it, for putting onions in the ground. I will check again. I know I checked in the last episode, but it's like the old measure twice, cut once thing. It doesn't hurt to keep double checking, because my brain will say, are you sure? And then I just doubt myself, and I think, I'm sure I showed it in the last episode, I'm sure I checked the menu, but I'm going to check in. I could actually drop the roller off there, but if I do that, then all the weight will be on the front of this. Not good. So what we'll do, we'll drop the hill off first. We'll try that. I also had a message. It was a weird one actually. Oh, I don't know. Right, you know, it was a. I think it was done as a quote from a message that someone had sent. It was difficult to tell actually. About there's very little farming in the game anymore. Really? I'm not sure. I mean, there's lots of other facets to the game, but as I've always said, you don't have to do any of the other facets. If you just want to do farming, just do farming. And to say there's very little farming, I don't... Anyway, yeah, that's... It's a weird one. Let's unfold this. Please work. Please, please, please work. We've got our arrows on, so we shouldn't do any damage to the croppages. These don't get turned on, do they? They're just purely mechanical. Let's drop that down. We can check in the precision farming on the map and stuff as well, but I was also asked as well, you know, when I use my GPS and I use my GPS a lot and I show lines a lot, I had someone ask me, do I ever use GPS and do I use it with, and I said I use it all the time. Something I did, I don't know what I was doing. Was it seeding? I went around the outside of the field first, and generally speaking, certain things you can do, and you can do it by eye. GPS is easier because then you can just, it's a fire and forget. You can just set it off on its course, and you haven't got to focus too much with the GPS on. But then I switch the GPS on, and I carry on with the GPS. I use it a lot. So what we should now have behind us. Why does it say weeds growing needs weeding? I can't see any weeds now. You look at this, weeds. No weeds. Mind you, I suppose, no, it's just the field is saying it's got weeds, isn't it? The field info says weeds. I'm looking at the precision farming bit where it tells you what everything is. But that's best thing to do. If we come onto here and we go off of, no, back up to there and then across to turn that on. There we go, look. Yep, weeds be gone. Nick off, not interested. Do one. So he's working. Cool, we'll carry on with that. I'll put the GPS on now. Yeah, so the controversy, and we're going to go with it. I've discussed it with Walter. It's Walter's farm, not mine. I'm just doing as I'm told. Very Nuremberg response. We've been approached by a telephone company. They want to put in some things for telephones. So they want to put in a mast. And Walter's all for it. They wanted a high spot on the land. So I think they're going to do back corner of the field over there. Our grass field. They have spent a bit of time. They've put a concrete pad in. They've done a bit of rock work. So yeah, I think we're going to go for it as a farm. There are a few different options. They don't charge you because you're giving up your land. You get paid a subsidy. They get their 5G thing up. Now, the controversy is about one having it, but it's again, all this stuff's in game. There are solar panels. There's all these things for generating income, wind turbines, things like that. And it made me laugh. I always, myself and MrSealyp have a standing joke. Because I remember way back, it might have been on 19, I think it was, when you put up a wind turbine, people say, oh, you're cheating. At the end of the day, it's a wind turbine. People have them all over the place. When we get up to the Lake District, there's loads up in the Lake District. Especially out more to the west coast, out towards Whitehaven, that kind of way. There's loads. And we take a little route through a little place called Pico. And Pica is what it's called. We go through a little place called Pica, and as you come out of there, there's a farm and there's a load of wind turbines in the field. And every time we drive past, I always say to MrSealyp, that farmer's cheating. And it's just one of those things. It's just a funny thing that makes us smile. At the end of the day, they're in the game, and I've used various different ones. So regardless of that, so I think we're going to go for it. But the controversy is wider than that. I was kind of unaware of it. I just put in on my phone 5G, so I thought I can find out some information about 5G while it's being installed. We can talk about it. We can talk about the 5G thing. Well, who knew it was such a thing? I genuinely didn't know. There are a lot of controversies about when 5G came out, about the 5G masts going up, health concerns and all sorts of stuff. They revolve around health concerns, many of which have since been debunked by scientific, governmental and health organisations, all of which you can trust. Thumbs up, people. We can trust all of those things. It was funny, initially, I'm just reading this because it just made me laugh. Initially, there were claims about 5G and COVID-19 pandemic. It suggested that 5G radiation weakened the immune system, which made people more susceptible to COVID, which has since been debunked. That's they have no basis in scientific fact and have been identified as dangerous misinformation. That's what it says. It then goes on to talk about radiation safety. I know, because there's always that thing when people said about, radio masts, it's that thing of no different to power stations, that kind of thing. No one wants them on their doorstep. No one wants them in their back garden. No one wants them in, close to them, because that thing of, people then start wearing tinfoil hats, It's that kind of thing. But 5G uses non-ionising radio waves, which lack enough energy to break chemical bonds in DNA, or cause damage to human cells. Public Health England has stated there should be no consequences for public health from 5G. Again, you can count on them. Why would they give us false information? I'm playing both ends of the conspiracy spectrum today. There's a thing called the precautionary principle. I'd never heard of this either. It's all fascinating stuff. I love it. Whenever I'm doing anything, I'll always look stuff up because I'm always curious to see, what's what and let me try to just turn down there. We want to give ourselves a bit of space. I'm glad this is working. Like I say, I don't do a lot of work using hose and weeders. I just generally just go in straight away and wallop. But let's go right to the edge here. I'll do this strip and then I'll come back across the other way. Just sort of seeing as we're heading this direction. Pop that on. There we go. Yeah, so some scientists and doctors have called for a moratorium on the rollout. This is back in 21-22, I think it was, citing a lack of long-term high-quality studies on 5G specific electromagnetic field exposure. Didn't know that was a thing. So, I mean, that's not radiation, that's something else. So, I don't know. It doesn't say anything about what happened with any of that testing. And then there are real-world consequences. It's interesting, this as well. Misinformation led to arson attacks on mobile phone masts across Europe, especially in the UK. Didn't know that. And harassment of telecommunication engineers. Unbelievable. Well, I suppose it's not unbelievable, is it? It doesn't take a lot to spread fear and panic amongst the population, does it? And misinformation will do that. Or information, not even misinformation. Real information will do that. It's always very, you know, I suppose government agencies are very quick to say misinformation. But here's another cool thing. I suppose this is as well with things like AI and this was a big thing with mobile phones recently. Again, I didn't know this. Geopolitical security risks. The second major controversy involves the reliance on Chinese telecommunication companies for 5G infrastructure, leading to fears of espionage, spying through radio masts. Well, not radio masts anyway. Australia and other nations have restricted or banned the use of, is it highway? I can't remember. I don't know how to say it. Equipment in their 5G networks, citing security concerns that Chinese technology could be used by Beijing for spying. Wow. Infrastructure vulnerability. 5G software-based systems have more traffic routing points than previous technologies. Routing. Increasing the potential attack surface for state-sponsored cyber attacks. Blimey, there's a lot in there. Interference with weather monitoring, aviation safety, energy consumption. Wow, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. Controversy after controversy. Well, there you go. So water doesn't care. We're doing it anyway. I just thought I'd talk about those things, seeing as it seems to be a big thing. So on top of the general farming simulator controversy, controversial, the angry people out there, we are the angry mob, you know. I don't know, what can you do? It's the same as it always says, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I think we're going down the damned if you do route, I think. Nearly done without Hoeing. Whoa, missed a bit. Let's check the map. Oh yeah, we're cracking right along. So that's nearly done. Then we'll get the roller. We'll do the rolling of those two fields. I'll start the rolling on one at 9.4 metres. It won't take too long at all. And then on to the Hoeings. Like I said, I kind of did that thing of let's do some onion stuff, and we did onion harvesting, but that was back before we had one of the big major updates and the onion harvesting didn't work. That's right, I got clobbered, didn't I? We didn't have enough onions. And then there was an update fixing that problem, which is just what you need, isn't it? But that's all sorted now. Yes, weeds are done. Would it have been cheaper to spray them? Yes, because I've got the concentrate already and I'll just mix it with water. This cost, what did this cost us? Oh, was it this or the other one? This was 1,000 and something, wasn't it? But that will guarantee us a better yield than leaving the weeds in. So we're done. You're welcome for all the 5G information, just in case any of you out there were worrying or wondering. I mean, it's been out a long time now. I say I don't know how outdated that information is now, but that's what it came up with on the old interwebs. So we'll drop the weeder here. Now, whilst we don't actually have any crop growing in those grounds. I'll leave the narrows on with this. And not a hint of a pallet in this episode. And we did sell. Did I do it in the last episode, or did I do it off camera? We went and gathered up. Oh, I've just realised what I did. I did 2 clips to put at the start of this episode. I went in onto my share factory to clean everything up, because I'll go weeks and weeks and weeks and realise I've got tons and tons of stuff in there, and it needs to be cleaned out every now and again. I just realised that I deleted them. Anyway, we went and grabbed all the porridge for the last couple of days. Hang on. No. We haven't. Did I leave it that I needed to do that? I can't remember. Because we certainly didn't get paid from... No, I haven't sold the fit. I've forgotten to do it. You can rely on me. Does this need to be lowered? It does. And look. We're using it, see? Especially for rolling, I want to make sure we cover everything. And again, check the ground. Field info, weeds growing, weeder, needs rolling. So we're going to do the rolling now. Once the weeds come up through the ground, we will crack on with that. But let's get this done. It's interesting actually, because this is the route I went round the field when I did the seeding at the end of the last episode. Because we don't always have, it depends on maps and stuff, but we don't generally, console doesn't have a lot of multi-terrain angle stuff going on. So whilst I'm going in this direction, the lines behind us are going in a different direction to the direction we're travelling. So it's, you know, you can't do a lot about that. Sometimes they line up perfectly, sometimes they don't. You can adjust it, of course, especially when you're not going across the field. You can go into your settings here. If we go into here, where are we? You've got side offset, show lines, work direction. You can change the work direction. Your number of headlands, your work, you can change all that. So if you want it to line up as best as it does with the ground, you can. If you want. I don't think I want. So definite colour difference. You can definitely see where it's been rolled and where it hasn't as we're going. Awesome stuff, and this is doing the job. As a lot of these things do. And look, it's farming. What's more farming than doing some hoeing, doing some rolling? I'm going to do some planting of onions. I even changed my tyres on my tractor. I didn't go for the let's just leave it as it is. Happy days. Anyway, all good. Oh, shout outs again. I know I did this the other day. Shout outs to Felix, to Gina, to Peter. I'm going to miss someone, aren't I? Who's the other one? For being long running and continuous supporters of the channel. You guys are awesome. I'm going to double check because I can't remember now. There's another name and I'm going to forget it. Yeah, Gina, Felix, James, Peter and Tony. Thank you. You guys are awesome. For your generosity and kindness. It genuinely, I say helps keep the lights on. It helps keep the man cave in fire logs. Fire logs and warming stuff for the for the wood burner. And in case some idiot cuts through internet cables, that kind of, little bits and bobs, it all helps. So the views, so the likes, anything you can do, that's absolutely awesome. I appreciate you all. I genuinely do. Well. What a day. What a day. How is it Friday again? Mind you, I suppose. I say that. At the time of recording this, it's Friday. Depends when this posts. Because obviously, I don't know whether there's going to be mods today or not. At the time of recording this, I don't know how many mods there'll be. If there are any, I don't know if there'll be any maps. There's always that idiot. There's always that idiot. It's always, with the best will in the world, it's like, I'll get this done, I'll get this up, get it posted today, and then giants go, wallop, have all this. Right, I'm going to get the rolling done on this field and the other one up the hill, and then we'll go and get the onion planter. Super duper. And at some point, by the time, I'll go up actually, when I've done that, I need to work out where I've left all the porridge and stuff, because I'm sure I haven't delivered it. No, I'm sure I haven't. It might all still be down at the other fishery, the offshore aquaculture, because there were 2 salmon down there. I took my 2 trout down on the back of the Unimog with a trailer to pick up all the porridge. Have I done something really daft? Oh, I don't know. I'll find it. I did say you would not have to witness a pallet sale or any pallet movement today. That is true. I had... Oh man, I am losing it. I suppose because I'm doing it on a monthly or daily basis in-game. Sometimes I do it off-camera. I could have sworn I'd recorded it. I've hired a worker. We've got a worker doing a rolling... I don't know if he's finished yet. No, tractor's still going, just about it. I suddenly thought, where did I leave the Unimog? I went down to pick up the porridge. I know I did. It was still down at the porridge factory. It was loaded up. I just hadn't done anything with it. So I went down and grabbed the salmon from the offshore aquaculture. We delivered the porridge. That came in at... What did that come in at? 70 something. We got 35 grand. And then... For the fish, 2 things of trout, 2 things of salmon, 54 grand with our environmental score reward. Oh, the other thing we need to do as well is we need to grab top mix ration out of here, because our new cow pasture here, they need topping up with total mix ration. I love this. This worked out so well. I'm really happy with how this came out. I was a bit, like I said, I was a bit unsure about the meadow grass to start off with, but I actually like it. I really do. I think it's an improvement. Anyway, yeah, so we did okay. We did all right. I'm happy with that. I say that a lot, but I am. It's true. We've still got plenty of salmon down there. We've got plenty of trout here. We've got fish food down there. We've put some fish food in here. So as far as all that goes at the moment, we're also absolutely crack-a-lacking. So not bad. Oh, what I'll do is always out. I'll show you the little pad they've made for the mast. I was thinking, I'm thinking, what should I put down for the thumbnail for the title of the video? And because I was thinking about all the things I was talking about with the 5G stuff, and I suddenly thought, because obviously the 5G thing, it was controversy and health concerns and espionage, and I thought, if I put down health concerns, people are going to panic and think that's me, or maybe they won't panic. But that's a bit clickbaity, because it's that kind of people think, oh no, no. So I don't think I'm going to add that in. But that was part of what I was talking about, but not me. That's, I mean, there are, but that's a whole different story. I am currently completely turning my life around. I mean, completely. Well, yeah, to a degree. I've got physio next week for the first time because of my back. I'm under the GP. I've lost nearly a stone in 2 weeks. So I'm back on keto. Weight's coming off. Weight's got to come off before we can deal with whatever's wrong with my leg, back, sciatica, muscle, nerve, tendon, whatever it is that's causing the problem. So that's what we're hammering away at first. Physios to help all that with my core strength, my back muscles, all that kind of stuff. And we had a big discussion about YouTube and doing what I do, and the fact that most of my day is spent sat down making videos. And a few people have said about, I had a lovely chat with Omatana about it. She said every hour she has a little alarm set, and she gets up and she goes for a bit of a wander. The doctor even suggested one of those standing desks, you know, the ones that can raise and lower, so you can have it lowered down and have it as a sitting desk, but you can have it as a standing desk, so for a while you can stand and you can get on what you're doing. I don't know, no, I suppose, yeah, it could work. But my initial thought, I know it's terrible, my initial thought is it took me ages. Everything that's set up in the man cave, it would take me a month of Sundays to rewire, reorganise, move everything off of the desk that's there, it's like, oh man, it's a lot of stuff to do. So, yeah, don't know. There's all sorts going on. Anyway, let's go and have a look at this pad. I just got the message saying the work is finished, so I'll move up to the next field and we'll better work on. Yeah, so what they've done is they've levelled this out. They've put a load of rock in. They've concreted in a platform. I think, as far as I know, they're putting in a radio mast, or you know what I mean. The mast is going to go here. Then I think there's going to be a shed for electrical componentry and bits and bobs, and they're going to have a little solar, just a small solar array thing. You know, there's a tiny one. Can't remember. We're paying for that though. That's £7 grand, I think it is. But then, to be fair, what we just earned from our fish and what we earned from our porridge, we can easily afford that. That's no problem at all. And that just helps with electronicals for whatever the mast requires. So yeah, this is where it's going to go. Potentially by the time we finish doing our onioning, it'll be there. It'll be in and done. Apparently they're a very fast, efficient crew. I think we'll probably use the JCB for the onion planting. It's not, as far as I'm aware, it's not a horsepower heavy requiring bit of kit. I think we might get the front. Again, unlike carrots and stuff, and other seeders don't use very much at all. I don't know. I don't know how much seed it uses, because I haven't done onion planting. I know, the Highland fishing's been out absolutely ages. I know people have done it and experienced it. I haven't. I've been doing all sorts of other stuff. I might leave that there for the time being. Actually, I might back that up and we can leave that attached to that. It gives me a bit of space in the other shed as well. We'll back that up. Not going to hit the roof. Keeps the tractor under cover as well. Cool. Right, I'm going to go and move this worker. That needs to go back. I don't know if I need to take it or whether they're going to come and collect it. I should probably take it back. We have just made another important decision. I came past here with the JCB to head down to the onions, and Walter stopped me and said, "You know what? It's time." We have talked about it. So what we're going to do, give this a bit of a whoosh. Then we're going to head down to the store to pick up the onion gear, and we are going to purchase a new JCB. Similar, this is 150 horsepower, and we're going to go for one of the 4000 icons, which I think we're going for the 235. So we'll have our large tractor is 349, 359. We'll have a 235. We've still got the small Massey for doing bits of spraying and stuff like that, but that will replace this. Oh, that's a good point actually. Have you got the telehandler? Oh, whoops. I haven't really used any of the front loader gear for ages. Since we got the telehandler, and now we've got the skid steer as well, the tele skid. Could probably sell all the front loader gear. Because then if we're getting rid of this has got the front loader on. This is what we were using initially when we started on the farm. I suppose, yeah, that can all go, can't it? That would make sense. It's just sitting there. Can go off to auction or can be sold by the store and go to a better home. So I'll see you down the store in a moment, and we'll sort this out.
the deed is done. We got 32 or 34 grand for our the old JCB. This one has been supplied by RossN mods. So a few little tweaks and changes from the base game version. I've gone for narrow twins, but there is a flotation option as well, which I might change it to later on. We've gone from the low vis UJ on there, which is quite nice as well. And I've also gone matte rather than go. I tend to go like a metallic, a real glossy metallic, but I've gone matte this time on all of the colour choices on it, which I quite like. We've got some fancy grills and bits and bobs. 235 horsepower. Definitely an upgrade. So what we're going to do now is grab low vis beacons. Did we go for flashes on this as well? Oh yeah, we have. Look. I've also got this frame on the back. I'm going to have a look because I'm pretty sure there are some options for some things that go on that frame on the back, aren't there? We had something come out recently which would give us the potential for doing that. Like I say, I've leased the front tank because I honestly can't. I can't remember. Whoa, that sits high. You know that down, it's going to touch the ground. I think we'll leave it there. That's right. That's up in your grill. Look, that's can't see nothing. That's better. We'll have it there. I'm assuming it'll still hook up with its pipe and whatnot. Apparently not. There's supposed to be a pipe that goes between these. Does it go under? I've been scammed. Look, there's look, these pipe holes here. What's going on with that? Maybe it only works on certain tractors? I don't know. Oops. We need to... Okay. Let's go and grab some seed. Hopefully... Oh, we're very close to the back of that with our tyres on the turn. Let's just go at 40 miles an hour. Come on, son. Super duper. See, the old fish farming's really paying out and working for us. And that decision to do the stuff with the porridge factory, that was one of those kind of... I don't know, it was all part of the pack, wasn't it? And I did the greenhouse. Well, that'd be cool. We do greenhouses with some extra stuff, you know. We've got blueberries and blackberries and, you know, awesome stuff. And I thought, well, actually, you know what? We could do the porridge that goes with it. Considering we had wheat, it made sense. And that has absolutely been worth it. So that's rolled. That's good to go now. We'll get wheat in that, so we'll deal with those when they come. Oh, this thing ships. Giving it the beans, and having that little bit of extra horsepower will make a big difference too for any of the jobs and things we're going to be doing around the farm. We are leaving water in it, or whoever takes over the farm and runs it for water in a really, really good position, which is absolutely fantastic. How is the rolling going with our worker? I think he's doing around the outside now. Started on the up and down, not the upside down, and now he's doing around the edges. Cool, that'll be done soon. Oh, I'll tell you what would be a good idea. I've just had this thought. I don't know if any of you have encountered this before, whether it's been something you've needed to do or not, but I tend to find seeders need seed in them. I mean, who knew? I mean, it's such an outdated concept these days, isn't it? Can't AI just do it? AI some seed in there. Come on. Oh, that turns sharp. Probably shouldn't be on all-wheel steer on the main roads. Let's go and grab a bit of seedage. I'm excited. I know it's childish, but it's a game. Hey, what's wrong with being childish? I've said it over and over and over. Be childish. Enjoy childlike things. Stop being grumpy adults. That's boring. Open up all the little things. Does that fill up? Oh, look at that. A hole. Is it 27 litres? Oh. Now, at the end of the day, I'm assuming... Actually, no, I'm going to check something. But this is a risk because it doesn't say that I can unload that front tank. So if we put seed in this and it doesn't unload, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put 1,000 in it. We'll stick 1,000 in it to start off with. If we find we're using absolutely loads, then I'll come back and we'll put some more in. But this is the one that does it in little strips of 5s, 3s, 5s, something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Cool beans, cool onions. We can actually give it the onions. Oh yeah, have I done that joke before? Probably. Should have put a little bit going that way as well, shouldn't I? Okay, we access the field. How's he looking? Is he done? Nearly done? Did I get a message saying he was done? Looks like it. I think we can get to the field this corner, or is it the other corner? Awesome. That's rolled. Soybean field number 2. Oh yeah, we got some stuff down here. There we go, strips of 5, isn't it? Start it up, drop it down, and away we go. How are we looking? It's not horrendous. The usage, that is. We are probably going to put it. Is it like all other root crops? Again, like I say, I did that big onion harvest as a contract way back. Oh, that's a point. What are our contracts doing? Oh, good grief! Yes, you can tell we're back into. Oh, look, we've got a sowing one there. Oh, look, another hoeing contract. Field next to us. I should have bought that hoe, shouldn't I? Pays out 6,000. If I borrow equipment 779, so just under 6. High 5s. It's not bad, is it? I quite enjoyed doing that. Oh, good to see the old contracts are picking up again. We are out of the wintry months. It looks okay, but yeah, we're not using crazy amounts, which is what I want to see. Oh, we've got gates up here as well. Oh, I must have come in this way when I did the liming. Not even realised I had. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, around here? It's not shaped field. Yeah, missed the corner. It's always that turn that gets me. We'll do, let's raise that up. Raise you up. No, sorry. Stop that. It's silly. Awesome. So it's a fine looking rig. I'll stick with this a little bit longer. See, what I would normally do is like
Okay, we're getting on with the onions. I'll see you later on. But I haven't done this before, so I want to have a proper look at this. How it all goes. It's better when we're on the up and down. I mean, technically I should have done the up and down first. Because otherwise then you're turning around on the crops you've done. So you should do the up and down first when you're seeding and then go around the outside. But it will be fine. We've got narrows on, we won't do much damage. Honest governor. You can take that to the bank. Have I mentioned before I'm enjoying this? I'm enjoying just playing. Like I said, when I was away at Christmas and it was that thing of like internet was awful and I couldn't really upload it. I mean, I could have recorded stuff, but then I couldn't have recorded, like, put a video together and then put it up because it was just, you know, when you're looking at 14-15 hours to upload a video. I might have got a couple of videos up while we're away, but it was nice to have a break. But it's crazy how much you don't realise. Well, it depends. If you're whatever game you're passionate about playing, I really miss playing it. Like I've always said with this game, yes, I've had periods where I can get frustrated, and it gets frustrating, and there are things that aren't working. And you'll do mod reviews, and you know you're reading the description, and the mod's not doing what the description says it does, and you don't know if it's you doing it wrong or whether the mod's not working properly, and you know. There is frustration, or when Giants drop 50 mods in one go and 5 maps, you know, that, you know, I always started out on FS15 when I first started playing this game, and I find for most of the time, like I said, when I'm doing big jobs, like off camera, again, audible, bang, audiobook goes on, and I'll just happily play. It's what de-stresses me, it's what calms me down, it's what I enjoy doing. And I didn't realise when I was away how much I'd missed it. You know, you come back and like, oh, you know, I really have missed playing this game, which I suppose is mad when you think about it, but so any of these bits I missed on the turns, I will gather them up now. Go. And we'll keep going forward here, just so I can tidy this corner up a little bit. So we've actually got three headland strips. Then we're on to the rest. So what we need to check with this is we already did our liming, so that's good. It says needs rolling, so we'll. We've got the roller in next to it, haven't we? Of course we have. Nitrogen's bad, so obviously we're going to need to spray this. Get a bit of nitrogen down once the planting is done. I'm glad I bought this. I'm happy with all the stuff. I still maintain that Unimog, that modded Unimog, that is so much better than the base game one. Unless I know that some of the base game stuff got a tweak here and there, but it's an absolute beast. Pulling any of the stuff I've had it pulling, when it's been pulling a trailer with a telehandler on the back and loads of stuff loaded up on some of the steep hills, yeah, it might slow down to about 5 miles an hour. It changes down a gear, then boom, off it goes again. I haven't had any of that weird gear change lag. I haven't had any of that nonsense. It's just run really, really well. It's a cracking mod. How are we looking? Yeah, this is a curious one, isn't it, right? Because this monosem, right? Let's just stop here a second. I think we can do it. We're going along actually. This monosem front tank comes with this
It's kind of part of the monosem stuff. This was part of the Highlands fishing, and I wasn't sure whether onions would be like carrots and the other stuff. Because if we go into here, no, into here, and we come down to this stuff, so obviously this is where I leased it all from, the vegetables section. He says, yeah, so we go to our vegetable planters, and these, when they came out and we got the new onions, parsnips and red beet, they have very, very tiny capacity, but they use very, very little, unless you're doing massive fields, and you might need to put a bit of extra in, which kind of makes sense, these two here. So I wasn't sure with the onions. I'm like, I don't know what it's going to take. You know, it could be absolutely loads. So that monosem, I suppose it's only 27 litre, but it comes with that front tank. So I just assumed it would use absolutely loads, but we just don't seem to be getting through it. Not like I thought we would. Which begs the question, when you've got a front tank with that capacity, how many onions, how much are you going to be planting that requires, you know, on top of the 27 litres, potentially another 2,000 litres of seed? I mean, if you're doing, you'd have to do a whole map. It's absolutely crazy. My concern with that was, and is now, that because that front tank didn't seem to give me the option, yeah, it didn't seem to give me the option for unloading. If I don't use very much on here, that's a waste of seed. But I can't really do much about that. I suppose it would have been a case of going backwards and forwards and just topping up the 27 litre on the back whenever you needed it. But I guess that front tank can be used with anything else, can't it? It doesn't have to be used with this, but that's kind of what it comes with, that and that. Anyway, with all of that off camera, I will roll this field, I will spray this field, or spray then roll, whichever way around. I have been also told, who was it, Pete? Not told, but you know, Pete's a lovely guy. Pete messaged and said, especially like with this one, same as the other one, I've gone for the sensors on this, that you'll get much better, no, not yield, yield's the wrong word, it's your usage of your fertilizers and stuff is far greater improved with the sensors if you wait for the first growth stage. So when the plants come out of the ground, it senses them and then it applies your fertilizer depending on that. I'll be honest with you, with a little bit of testing I did when it sort of all came out, and precision farming and whatnot, and I'm talking way back though, not on the latest version of it, I find that the use of fertilizer and herbicide, especially when you're using all the new sensors, all the arrays, all the stuff on the sprayers, and you know, you're using fractions of the amounts, which is what it's supposed to do. That is the point of all this new cool new equipment and machinery, is that it's supposed to be better for the environment. It's supposed to be better. You're not putting down loads and loads of fertilizers and herbicides and stuff where it's not needed. It's only put down where it's needed, when it's needed. That's the point behind it. So from the standard version of the game, where you're putting down 2 fertilizing states, and if you are doing your weeding and stuff like that, I found that if you do precision farming, you're using far less, I mean far less, of your liquid fertilizer or your herbicides. So if I waited until the crop was coming out of the ground, I just want to get it all done in one go. If I'm doing my field prep, I've prepped the field, whether it's being ploughing or cultivating, liming, then I'm doing my seeding, I want to get my rolling, my fertilising done, bang, wallop, all finished with. I think the difference between doing it when there's no crop out of the ground and doing it when the crop has come out of the ground, it has emerged, it's tiny amounts. It's not like it's the difference between like thousands of litres of whatever it might be, herbicide, fertiliser, liquid fertiliser. But that being said, you know, that's how it's supposed to be done. So yeah, I totally get that. You know, I should be waiting for the crop to come out of the ground. Maybe I will this time. Should we do it with this one? Maybe wait to the next episode, or if I jump ahead to whenever this should be, not April 2, probably May. when the onions start to emerge in the first growth stage, maybe we'll come and do our fertilising then. Like I say, it's not using too much anyway, but you didn't see me handling a single pallet or selling a single pallet. We did, but you didn't. Yeah. This has been farming. Hoeing, rolling, planting, new piece of equipment, leased a couple of things that I haven't used before, which is always nice. Oh no! So we haven't shown you before we finish. No, stop! Don't go anywhere. Wait. Right, we've done around the outside. What we're going to do now is let's switch over to AI Worker, work the headlands off, start with up and down because we've done the headlands. Okay, hire a worker. Let's raise that up. They can worry about whether they see through that or not. I'm going to close this gate because we're coming from the top if we want to. That gate's closed. Right, we'll grab that tractor. That needs to roll this field afterwards. Actually, do we need to grab a tractor? We can just, we'll run across. I should have just gone out the top of the field, shouldn't I? Through the hedge. The mast is up. I got the call. So we'll get a worker running that. Frees me up for other jobs, activities, things. Not sure what yet. There we go. It's in. Oh, look at our grass. Lush. We must be nearing a point. I'm going to go and check my mower situation again. I can't remember. We've got that. Mow anywhere front mower. Choose with the forage wagon. Did I buy a set of mowers? Or did I lease mowers last time? I can't remember. I know we've got the sort of hay bob tedder thing. Maybe we need to buy some mowers. Yeah, so there we go. Towers in on the platform, a little solar thing for any electronicals, I guess, or whatever. So that is powering whatever's in the hut. I don't think there's anything in there yet. Don't they put it in yet? Nope, nothing in there yet. And then yeah, so that's in, and you know, tinfoil hats on. Let's do it, and that is the end of this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.